Well, hello everyone. This is Doc Hogg, and welcome to Comics and Variety, the Sunday show. This is absolutely the best, greatest Comicsgate Sunday show on YouTube, because it's pretty much the only Sunday show on YouTube. John Hervey was supposed to be my guest this morning, but I was prior to the show, I was going through our DMs on Twitter. And it looks like we might have had a bit of a miscommunication. I told him, when do you want to show up on the Sunday show, 10 a.m.? Looking over it, I guess I assumed he knew this Sunday, but I don't think I specified the exact date. I don't think I said October 18th. So that's okay. We're going to talk. I just want to mention that, I want to talk about a couple things today. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. I have lots of brain farts, my friends. But I want to talk a little bit about his new comic book. I believe it's pronounced Magna. And I'll just profile that a little bit, and then I'll go over a couple articles, and then I'll talk at length about my comic book, Tilt 2, which launches tomorrow night on the Red Gaze channel. There will be a link to that channel in the description below. I haven't put it there yet. There are links to the Magna sign-up page, and there are links to the Tilt 2 sign-up page. If you sign up for Tilt 2, you will be getting a free magnet with your purchase. That is it right there. You can put it on your refrigerator or wherever you like to put magnets. Sorry, let's not cut off the jack's head there. Yeah, you don't want to be one jack off. At any rate, this is the magnet. You'll be getting that if you sign up before the campaign launches. After that, it'll cost you like $1 on cost you $1 during the campaign. Could break your bank. So at any rate, let's take a quick look at let's take a quick look here at let's take a quick look here at what at some of John's campaigns. His Black Tiger Legacy of Fury, and I've actually got that right here. It is, haven't finished it yet, but what I've read so far is pretty darn good, and that one is still in demand. And I'll provide a link to that in the description below as well later after the show is over. But yeah, this is still in demand. Just, some wonderful art in this. Massively, wonderfully drawn, and good story too. So at any rate, if you don't have that, I would highly recommend you get it. His latest is called Magna, the Pantheon Volume 1, a supernatural fantasy adventure of a woman uncovering a mythic legacy to save the world. And give me just a second here. I am going to reshare my screen. I think I forgot to click the audio the first time, and we will play the video for Magna, I think, unless I accidentally, oh boy, I did not just do that. Yes, I did just do that. Alrighty, let's start with Magna here, and okay, and yeah. Okay, so let's go back and take a quick look at this. Alrighty, let's take a quick look at the video.
Welcome to Tree City, Idaho. The year is 1942. Spring is in the air, but times are tense as the world finds itself at war. While high school senior Kari Skogsholm finds her provincial life unfulfilling, Her parents are eager to keep their lives and, most importantly, their extraordinary daughter under the radar as long as they can, but time is not on their side. They prepare to flee to protect Kari, but something within her compels her to stay and take a stand. It's time to learn truths that have been kept from her, be it out of love or fear or something else. It's time to answer the calling upon her life, whatever that may be. So her journey begins, and things would never be the same. But Kari's story finds its roots millennia prior. The men of renown, known as the sons of God, and the daughters of men in the first and second heavens, joined with raised arms one last time, combining all the power that they had to command. In the heavens, above the world, the last stand of these mighty men was also the last appearance of the agents of destruction, until their reemergence in 1942. Kari must learn the truth about herself, determine the end game of these supernatural agents of destruction, and how to stop them before all is lost.
Yeah, not bad at all. Yeah, a creative team, of course, is written, created by John Hervey, pencils by Marcio Abreu. The covers are by Elizabeth Tort and done Uncanny X-Men and Eduardo Ramirez Vieira. Colors by Omi Ramale Lante Jr. and letters by Marco Della Verde. Alrighty, enter the supernatural. Protagonist Kari Skolsholm finds herself in league with the last of the world's deities of old and in the middle of their losing battle for survival. Enjoy this 10-minute animatic written and directed by John Hervey. We're not going to play that for 10 minutes, but it's there if you want to take a look at it. And a heroine's journey. Kari and her newfound companions battle against seemingly insurmountable odds for their survival. But are they saving the world or ushering in its destruction? Kari must defeat a greater evil, discover who she really is, and save the world. Kari and her newfound companions battle against seemingly insurmountable odds for survival. So yeah, some good stuff here. I would highly encourage you to sign up. Let me just take a quick look here and see if there's anyone in the chat, and no one in the chat yet. So, all right, just take a quick look here and see if I think we will just let that go there for a second. That's all right. Okay, all righty. Let's go back to this. This is Tilt 2. The campaign will launch tomorrow night on the Red Gaze channel. And let me just bring up that channel as well. There will be a link to that in the description below. Oh, that's not right. Here it is. Yes. He has been nice enough to let me launch it there. So we will be launching it on his channel tomorrow night, 8 p.m. I'll show up on the show, and a few minutes in, I'll click the button, and the campaign will be live. And again, sign up now. You'll get a free Tilt magnet with your purchase. And in a little bit, I will be talking about some of the tiers, the backing tiers on the campaign. But first, let's go over a couple of these articles here. This one's from Bleeding Fool. Thor: Love and Thunder scheduled to begin production in January. You know what I thought when I saw this? Didn't care. I mean, this is. What kind of a terrible name is Love and Thunder? I mean, that's awesome. You know, Thor Ragnarok. Now that's a name. Or Thor: The Dark World. Yeah, Dark World was not one of the better movies, but nevertheless, good name. Love and Thunder. And I have no interest in seeing a female Thor who, physically is 90 pounds soaking wet. I mean, why didn't they get someone, taller, like, say, Charlize Theron or something like that? And I mean, I don't know. I never got the sense that Natalie Portman Natalie Portman was all that interested in this role, and you know, I'm kind of glad they finally removed her from Thor Ragnarok and just from the MCU generally. I don't think she really put in her best performance. She is a very good actress. Certainly, you know, I think it was Black Swan. Wasn't that her big breakout role that she won the Oscar for? At any rate, yeah, I just never thought she was really into this role, and I'm kind of sorry they're bringing her back. But I think I think her career has started to go into decline. Someone pointed that out recently. A lot of her recent movies, the box office has just slowly dropped. I don't know where to pull that up, but and I think, you know, someone called her up and said, "Hey, do you want to go back in Thor and, you know, do Thor again?" And, you know, hey, why not? I mean, it's a paycheck. I'm sure she doesn't need the money, but I'm sure she wants the work. Her you know, like I said, her career is in decline, and that happens with movie stars. I mean, the movie stars like Tom Cruise, whose, you know, career just seems to go on and on and on over decades and decades, and he continues to be popular. Those are rare. You know, people, they're more common is the actor or actress who has, you know, 5 or 6 really good years and then kind of goes into obscurity. Maybe not obscurity, but, you know, their career fades, and it happens. And, you know, it's just kind of the nature of fame. At any rate, not really. When I saw this, I was like, who cares? All righty. Next up is this about the, I guess, upcoming Black Adam. Is this movie? No, I don't know. Hang on here. Let's read it. Ma Hunkel, I like that name, the original Red Tornado and one of the first superheroes in the Golden Age, is slated for Black Adam as one of the legacy members of the Justice Society of America, but expect a twist for the benefit of representation. A report by Illuminati says Hunkel is getting reimagined as transgender to inject diversity into the DC extended universe and make DC's first trans hero for the big screen. So yeah, I guess this is going to be a movie. The Illuminati claims Hunkel is actually set to take part in the upcoming Black Adam, with the addendum she will be reinvented as transgender. Emphasis through italics carried over. Alrighty. They add this is likely a nod to her cross-dressing past. Only DC and Warner Brothers are leaning in to embrace the element. Fighting crime as Red Tornado, Hunkel impersonated a man. It's not clear if the filmmakers are making Hunkel a trans man or trans woman, but probably the former. Being the I don't, is that by trans man, does that mean woman to man? Okay. Being the grandmother of new JSA recruit Cyclone, that might help them figure out the exact angle. Couple of thoughts on this. First of all, if Shazam or Black Adam is supposed to be a movie for kids, how many parents are going to take their kids if you know, you're introducing transgender concepts into it? You know, I'm certainly not going to take my son. He's not old enough for that yet. But let me also add here, this is kind of one of those, you know, I don't particularly like it when DC or Marvel or anyone really takes a character that was originally a heterosexual or whatever, and then, you know, like they did with Iceman, made Iceman gay. He's never been gay in the comics. It was never part of his story. You know, if you want to bring those kind of characters in, you got to create a new character. What, of course, Marvel and DC hopes to do is they can kind of transpose all this diversity onto the actual characters and show their wokeness and how much they care and blah, 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 by doing it that way. Now, this is interesting because Ma Hunkel, I mean, Tornado was, you know, she did, Red Tornado did dress up as, she's a woman dressing up as a man, which is potentially transgender territory. Okay. So maybe that is kind of part of her backstory. I mean, certainly they're adding to it, but it's not completely out of the, you know, they're not just completely transposing it onto there, you know, shoving it in there. It's, boy, there's a double entendre, shoving it in there. Anyways, So I don't know, does making this character transgender kind of work here? And again, going back to the point that, will kids want to, will parents want to take their kids to see this movie if that's in there? These sort of concepts that deal with sexuality and gender and all that stuff. You're not really ready for that if you're 10 years old. I mean, or 12, you're maybe even 12, 14, 15, fine. They go to see the movies on their own anyways. This will probably be PG-13, so no big deal. But I'm certainly not taking a 4 or 5-year-old to see this movie. So, at any rate, I don't know. I mean, does making Red Tornado, does making Ma Hunkel kind of transgender, or does that actually fit in with this? Because she did dress up as a man. It wasn't called transgender back in the golden age of superhero comics, but is it that much of a stretch here? I don't know. And certainly, if you want to drop some comments in the chat or in the comment section about that, please do. Alrighty, next up, and let me just check here real quick on the chat and see if John ever showed up. He did not. That's okay. Alrighty. Here's another one bounding into comics. The Boys showrunner claims the myths of superheroes have undeniable fascist underpinnings. Boy. The Boys showrunner Eric Kripke recently discussed the conclusion of the second season of the Amazon show by claiming that the myths of superheroes have undeniable fascist underpinnings. Kripke spoke with Hollywood's reporters Sam Abramovich, who asked him if any of the boys come from personal experience and where does Homelander lie on the spectrum of white nationalism. The showrunner responded a few things. The myth of superheroes themselves, though often created by young Jewish writers in the 30s and 40s, doesn't really apply as cleanly today because there's these undeniable fascist underpinnings to it. Does that sentence make any sense? I mean, created by young Jewish writers, but there's undeniable fascists. I mean, I don't think Jewish writers of the 30s and 40s would be that interested in creating characters with fascist underpinnings. Of course, that's the whole theory of postmodernism, is that these things work their way into the character, even if the creators didn't intend it. Something that don't entirely buy into, but okay. Here we go. They're there to protect white patriotic America. That's what they were designed to do. That's what they do. They're protecting the status quo, he elaborated. Well, I don't know that protecting the status quo is necessarily, that's not, that is not any particular definition of fascism. Protecting the status quo is just that, protecting the status quo. I mean, the status quo right now is that gay marriage is legal in the U.S. If someone tries to protect that, are they a fascist? Protect that status quo? That would be interesting. They're there to protect white patriotic America. I don't think creators sense. I mean, it just. Now, again, I don't know that much about white Jewish writers from the 30s and 40s, but I kind of doubt that they're were there to just writing there just to protect white patriotic America. I mean, I have to admit that this is why I like bounding into comics, Jeff Trent, or John Trent, sorry, John F. Trent. I love this cover here because here's, it looks like Superman is actually attacking white males here, and presumably these are heterosexual males. So, I don't know if he's protecting, certainly not entirely. Parts of white America will say that he's not protecting here. And then after that, they put in early #1 of Captain America, who's doing what here? He's punching Hitler. Smashing through, Captain America came face to face with Hitler. Also, Captain America's young ally, Bucky. So, was it really intended to? Certainly wasn't intended to protect fascism. And I don't think protecting white America is by itself fascist. You're just, well, no, I shouldn't say that. if your intent is to protect just white America, then you're certainly a white supremacist or potentially a fascist. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about fascism out there. Fascism is not necessarily about race. It certainly has a lot about race connected to it. It can be used that way, certainly as Hitler did, but it's actually an ideology about how the state should be managed, and so forth. But certainly it had very racist. There were certainly very racist parts of that with German fascism under Hitler that were obviously catastrophic and tragic. All righty. Kripke continued, when the status quo is problematic, suddenly they become adversarial, not your hero. And I think it was written by a lot of people at that time were trying their level best to fit in and vanish within white American society. Any evidence for that? I think it was written by any evidence that they were just trying to vanish and fit within white American society? I'd like to see the actual evidence for that. And I think that if you're punching Hitler, you're not just protecting white America, you're protecting black America, you're protecting all of America. This is just wokeness without any thinking behind it. He then went on to double down, claiming the myth of a superhero is fascist. He stated, but we don't just live in that time anymore. So the myth of superhero taken straight, that's where it starts to become fascist. What? Because they're protecting a world that doesn't and shouldn't exist. Superheroes are inherently MAGA. Make America great again. Trump's a fascist. All right, I'm about. In terms of Stormfront, there was nothing specifically personal behind it. It was just, I hate Nazis. I hate alt-white nationalism. I hate racism in all of its forms, he added. Oh, well, who doesn't? I guess. Oh, well, people who are MAGA, people who are voting for Trump, I guess they don't hate Nazis or hate any. It's just, this is so ridiculous. This is, Kripke would go on to reiterate he wanted to explore modern white supremacy. Modern white supremacy, you know what that is? That's not even 1% of the American population. It's a fringe group. It's a teeny tiny fringe group that, is just, it's pathetic. But, Hollywood and the media have to make it out to be it's this huge threat. And at any rate, I was really interested in exploring what modern white supremacy looks like, because in the boys' comics, the character Stormfront is straight up, but the white supremacy I see in modern day is cloaked in social. They're often very attractive young people who were using social media better than we are and presenting themselves as free thinkers. God. So who is this then, presenting for themselves as free thinkers and outside the box? Or really they're just peddling the same S people have peddled for thousands of years, he added. I wonder who does he have in mind with attractive young people presenting themselves as free thinkers? I mean, is that Tommy Lahren? Is that Ben Shapiro? I don't know. Who is that? Is that Ethan Van Sciver? I mean, it's just, there's this guy obviously cannot think his way out of a box or let alone a paper bag, and is just, it's sad that, it seems to me in this guy's mind, anything slightly right of center or further right is by definition fascist. And this guy, obviously, Kripke is very limited in how he sees the world. Just clearly sees it in black and white, like too many people do these days. But it's kind of sad. And you would hope that he would be able to explore, other issues in, give the political right its due, because the political right is not the alt-right. I mean, the political right is, by which I mean conservatism. Okay. It's not white nationalism. So at any rate, okay, enough of this nonsense. You see this garbage and it's really just really kind of sad. Okay. All righty. Let's move on to Tilt 2 here. And I'm going to talk about this. All righty, let's go back here and. 'Cause, 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 Give me just a minute here, my friends. And so let's talk a little bit about some of the tiers that you're going to have. And all righty. First off, obviously sign up. The link is in the description below. Next up, and again, this is the magnet that you're going to be able to that you'll get for free if you sign up before the campaign launches tomorrow, 8 p.m. on the Red Gaze show. And yeah, this is going to be the standard cover. This was drawn and colored by David Ocampo with wonderful graphics by Lenore King. And this is going to be the variant cover. This was drawn by Vic King. It was colored by the lovely Rosetta Allen. Again, the graphics are by my colorist for the comic, Lenore King. And this, by the way, is going to be available as art for purchase. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in the when I start talking about the tiers here in just a minute. But you're going to be able to purchase both the print, the original art. This will be two pieces that you can purchase in one backing tier. The sketch and inks by Vic King and the coloring by Rosetta Allen. So those will be available. And then if you did not manage to buy Tilt Part 1 the first time, there will be a reissue, and this is the reissue cover. This was drawn by Alan D. Gray. Hey, big guy, you want to come on here for a second and show some of your art? Oh, yeah, this is my big guy, Charles. Hey, big guy. Love you much. All righty, let's show some of your art. Let's bring this up here for a second. Full screen. All righty. Yeah, over here. Oh, that looks kind of like a Captain America shield. Maybe I should sell some of this on on the campaign. What do you think, Charles? What do you think? Sit up, big guy.
It looks like a Captain America shield.
Yeah, it does look like a Captain America shield. Turn it around so everyone can see.
It's still not a Captain America shield because it had a star on it.
Well, it's pretty close, big guy. All righty.
Daddy, can I print this?
No, I'm running out of toner on my computer, or on my printer, so not today. All right. Okay, big guy. New toner thing? Yes, I will be getting one soon. All righty. Yeah, this is going to be the reissue cover, and so you can buy issue 1. It will be an add-on. So when you go to the campaign, you choose which one you want. You'll be able to add this on. Okay, let's talk about some of the other add-ons and some of the other tiers. Like I said, you will be able to buy some art. Let's take this down here and go back. Let's talk. Let's talk about some of the pinups. First thing I want to mention is you will have an option on the backing tiers. One of the potential add-ons. Yeah, I know, big guy. Let's just our cat just yeah. I know. We'll have to take care of that. our cat just made us a nice gift in the litter box. So yeah, yeah, it is kind of all righty. Don't worry, we'll take care of it in a few minutes. All righty. Hang on here. Let's get to the all righty. One of the add-ons you're going to get is you're going to be able to buy the pinups, but not as pinups, as posters. In case you don't know, a pinup is actually just a poster that's folded. Well, these will not be folded. So if you want to, put them in a instead of just taping them to your wall or whatever, you will actually be able to put these in a nice frame. They will not be bent, but there will be a limited number of these. Probably there will be 10 of them, and 10 or 11, I think. You will be able, and also you will be able to get not only the posters from Tilt Part 2, those images, you will be able to get the ones from Tilt Part 1. So I will put them in a nice, plastic container, sleeve, and mail them off so they are not bent. There will be no creases, nothing of that sort. You'll be able to get those. And again, the one by this was drawn and the graphics by Lenore from last time. So this will be available. We had the pinup, the standard cover from issue 1. The Virgin cover was available last time. You'll be getting a copy of that if you choose this the poster add-on. And of course, the wonderful this was initially fan art from Archsider. Did a wonderful job. This was also part of the Tilt Part 1 campaign. This will be part of that. Alrighty, and now let's go through some of the pinups from Part 2 that will be available. This is also by Archsider, which I like to call Jennifer with Junk in the Trunk. And so this will be part of the posters. This will also be 2 of the pinups, kind of a 2-for-1 deal this time. 2 of the pinups that you can buy that will come as pinups, but you also have the option of buying all the posters, and this will be one of the prints as well. Also, there will be, so this will be one. This once we get to the stretch, once I get past my funding goal, there will be obviously the stretch goals. We hit the first stretch goal, and then I will provide everyone with posters and one of the pinups, and one of the pinups will be the Virgin cover for Part 2, and but you will get this as a poster if you choose the add-on. And this will be another poster that will be part of the pinup that will be part of the stretch goal. This is all the queens, the custom queens that will be part of the deck of cards, and of course Jennifer Poehler. This will be available as well. This was drawn by Lenore King, absolutely beautiful. And I'll be talking about the deck of cards in just a few minutes. And this will be you'll be getting this as a poster too if you choose that add-on. And finally, going to reveal on my show for the first time. However, you would have seen this yesterday if you had signed up for Tilt Part 2. All the signees, when I send out the emails, they get to see the art first. So keep that in mind for next time. You will be getting to see finished art first. And so this is the other pinup. This is Jiggities. This was drawn by Lakem Amir. Jiggities. Why jiggities? Well, if you play poker, you may know that jiggity is a slang for a pair of jacks. And also, you could kind of see that the jacks are kind of, trying to steal some glances at Jennifer Poehler here. And it is kind of a play on Glenn from Family Guy's giggity, So, this will be the other pinup. This will be available for purchase along with Jennifer with Junk in the Trunk, drawn by Archsider. Sorry, I'll go back, put that up for just another second. And then this will also be available for purchase. You'll get both of those if you buy them as an add-on, or you can do the poster add-on, where you'll be able to get all the posters from Part 2 and Part 1, including this one. So you'll be able to, whatever you want to do with a poster, that you can't do with a pinup. I mean, you can put a pinup in a frame, obviously, but it's better if it's just a nice, straight, flat print. I want to give you that option. These will be limited, and limited number of these, so be sure to jump on them quickly. Okay, let's... Gosh, I love that. By the way, Lakem Amir, sorry, I keep calling him Lakem. It's Lakem. Lakem Amir drew all this, colored it. The jiggities was put in by the lovely Lenore King. Alrighty, let's go. Final thing, I just want to go over the deck of cards. I do not have the image for the deck of cards just yet. But that is coming soon, and that will also be, I'm having Vic King, who drew that, and Rosetta Allen, who colored it. They're going to save their prints. That will also be art will be for sale. All righty, let's. Oh, I did forget this too. I forgot this. Let me just bring this up real quick here. Yeah. And yeah, the reissue cover. This will also, the print will, without all the graphics here, but Alan Gray Jr., who did this, he drew it. He did not do it digitally. So this original art will be for sale as well in the campaign. Okay, let's get to the deck of cards now. Okay, all righty. And yeah, the deck of cards this time around is going to have custom kings, queens, and jacks. Lakem Amir is doing the kings, and he's done 2 of them so far. He has done the King of Hearts and the King of Spades. I have him working on the King of Diamonds and the King of Clubs. He just completed the pinup, the image for the pinup or the poster that you just saw. Relax, big guy. We're good. And he's now working on those 2, and we have it planned for this Tuesday's episode of Indie Comic Stream. He will be drawing one of the kings on that episode, so do come by Indie Comic Stream to see that image being done. But this is the King of Hearts, and this is the King of Spades. So when you turn over the card to look at the King of Spades, the King of Hearts, this is the image that you will see instead of your usual image that you get and which you got last time, but it was my first campaign. I couldn't had to keep costs a little more down, but here's the king, your usual King of Diamonds. You won't be seeing that. You'll be seeing a different King of Diamonds. Doesn't have the King of Diamonds finished just yet, but let's see. Here's the King of Hearts that you usually get. This was the last deck of cards left from last time. King of Hearts, you'll be having this King of Hearts this time. Isn't this so much better? Oh, yes, of course it is. It's so much better. And here is the King of Spades from last time. This King of Spades is so much better. All righty, what are the queens going to look like? Well, the queens were drawn and colored by the lovely Lenore King. Here is what the Queen of Hearts will look like. This is your standard Queen of Hearts. This will be the image you get if you look at the when you get the tilt, if you purchase the tilt deck of cards. All righty, this is the Queen of Spades. Your usual, no, that was wrong. Your usual Queen of Spades, and this image, much better, right? Queen of Diamonds. Yes, indeed. Where is the Queen of Diamonds? Here's your usual Queen of Diamonds. I like the way the queens are drawn in a deck of cards, but hey, let's have custom images. Much better. So here's the Queen of Diamonds, and finally the Queen of Clubs. Oh yeah, there's the Queen of Clubs. This is your standard Queen of Clubs. That's the Queen of Clubs for the deck of cards. All righty. The Jack of Hearts. That will be the jacks are were drawn by Jeff Craven, who did my variant cover for part 1. He really stepped up on these jacks. Here's your usual Jack of Hearts. This is what the Jack of Hearts will look like in the deck of cards this time. Then you have the Jack of Spades, and these, by the way, are called, I get them mixed up. I believe these weapons are called Siccas. Let me just take a quick look and see if one is called Siccas and one are called Kamas, K-A-M-A. Yeah, these are Siccas that the Jack is holding right here, S-I-C-C-A, and yeah, this is the Jack of Spades. This is what it looks like in a deck of cards. This is what the image you'll be getting if you purchase the Tilt deck of cards. Alrighty, I got the Jack of Clubs here. And yeah, pull this out. This is the Jack of Clubs that you will be, it's in the standard deck of cards. This here is the Jack that will be in the Tilt deck of cards. And finally is the Jack of Diamonds. And these weapons are known as kamas, or they're kama. I think they're kamas, K-A-M-A. And here is what the Jack of Diamonds usually looks like. And this is what, the Jack of Diamonds will look like in the Tilt deck of cards. Okay, so yeah, those are some of the perks that will be available. And just to mention some of the tiers, if you just want to go with PDF, if you just want digital, I had some people say that they really appreciated having digital last time because, you know, they're out of the country and, you know, foreign shipping is a little pricey sometimes, and you know, they just appreciated having a digital copy. You will be able to get a digital copy of Tilt Part 2, and you'll have the option as an add-on. If you haven't gotten Part 1 yet, you want a digital copy of Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1 will be an add-on, but you will have the digital of Part 2. Then you will have either the just going to bring it up here real quick. Yeah, if you just want the standard cover, you will be able to buy that, and you know, you can add on the pinups or the posters or the deck of cards, so there will be the standard cover available. There will be or you can just buy the variant cover, or you can buy both of them. You will have that option again as well. A couple of the other tiers, like I said, there will be a couple of art tiers, including the sketch and ink of the variant cover and the colors of the variant cover. That will be available, and you will get both copies of the comic with the art. I will include both copies of the comic, the standard and variant covers, and also the reissue cover. You'll be able to buy that art as well. So that will be another tier. And yeah, again, you'll get both the covers of the the variant and the standard covers will be included with that tier. And there will be at least one more art tier and possibly two. One will be the prints or the original art for the back of the deck of cards, which is being finished as we speak. There will be both the sketch and the ink and the colors. And again, 2 issues of the comic with that, 2 copies of the comic, standard cover and variant cover. And then I think I'm going to sell another original piece of art by Vic King, but it's not actually Tilt. It's kind of Vic King's tribute to the comic book Graveyard Shift. So thinking about putting that one up as well. So another piece of art, again, both copies of the comic, standard and variant cover will be available with those. And then there are going to also be the tiers, the backing tiers where you will get to be drawn into the comic book. There are, I'm going to have at least 3, and you'll be getting drawn in. I'm sorry, make this clear. You will not be getting drawn into Part 2. You'll be getting drawn into Part 3. You'll have the opportunity to be a friend of the guy who attacks Jennifer, and you'll get drawn into at least 1 page, and you'll play kind of a significant role. You'll be giving up some information that Jennifer needs right before the Jack of Hearts lops your head off. The other one, you will be the companion, and both of these actually are good. If you're, a lot of these times you get drawn in as a male character. Either one of these you could be perfect for getting drawn in if you're a woman and want to get drawn in. Both of these are perfect for that. Actually, the third one's perfect for it as well, and I'll explain why in a second. The second one is you are going to be the companion of Marco Tessio. He will be one of the people who survives in Tilt Part 2. Jennifer will have to track him down in Part 3 and get information out of him. But he will get off before she gets the information, so it will be up to his friend, whether it's girlfriend or just male friend, have to get the information out of that person. And and then finally, the last one will be the Spirit of Chaos. Who is the Spirit of Chaos? Well, you'll have to find out. That one will come in toward the end of Tilt 3. That character will come in at the end of Tilt 3, and it will be drawn in future issues. This is going to be the priciest tier because this will be a continuing character, and if you buy it, you will be drawn in not just into issue 3, but any issue that the Spirit of Chaos appears in. And the Spirit of Chaos will play a fairly prominent role in the next story arc, which will begin with issue 4. So that will be the priciest tier. And yeah, I really think that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for coming on by. The campaign will launch on Monday, tomorrow at 8 p.m. The campaign for part 1 is still open. The only things that are left now are the digital copies. So if you want to get one of those, do buy it now. Otherwise, I will be closing out the campaign for part 1 tomorrow, just before the campaign for part 2 goes live. And let's finish out here with one of our favorites, one of my favorites, Steve Inman, shall we?
Apparently, Jazz mixed his cocktail drinks, White Claw and Mountain Spew, and this is the result. A crotch rocket and lands on his egg roll, and I think his future grandkids just felt that. I'll go as far as saying his great-grandchildren felt that. Let's take a look at the stupidity replay right here. Launches right into heaven, right into the depths of hell. And for the first time ever, we're going to take a look at another non-essential angle. Booyah! Right into the egg roll, straight to his dome, into a half scorpion, and his bones snap like a freaking Kit Kat bar. Good night.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. And you have a very good rest of your Sunday. Take care.